Hello everybody, welcome back to the KotLC Fanbase. My name is Austin and today we have another KotLC video. Today, tier ranking the KotLC characters. I've got a list of characters I'm going to tier rank and put into all the different categories, which I'll show you before we start this video. But before we do hop into the video, I just want to give a very big thank you to all of you guys watching right now. We just hit 10,000 subscribers. It is an incredible milestone and we couldn't have done it without you. So definitely shouting out all the viewers that helped us get to this goal, because we never thought we would be able to get to 10,000 subscribers. And it's just so crazy that we did. So thank you all, the people who watch us, subscribe, who are our members, who like the videos. Thank you guys so much for 10,000 subscribers. We're going to be definitely doing a 10k special, so definitely comment down below any ideas you have for what you want to see in our 10k special, because that is definitely going to be a big video that we're going to have a lot of fun working on. But yeah, before we get into the video, make sure to like if you guys like tier ranking. I have a whole another playlist of all different KotLC ranking videos if you guys want to check that out. And comment down below where would you rank your characters, because I would definitely love to see that. And also remember to subscribe, because we know only about 20% of you guys are actually subscribed to our channel, so that would help us out a lot. And of course we have a JT gaming video coming out tomorrow, so let's jump straight into the video. Alright, so as you can see on the screen, we have a tier list. We have at the top literal gods, beneficial, decent, meh, not helpful, and erase. So we're going to be going through this whole list of characters as you can see on the bottom, and we're going to be ranking those into all these categories. Feel free to play along with me. So the first character we have is Fitz. Now Fitz is a very interesting character because he was like this at the start of the series. He was beneficial, he was really good. He was the one who brought Sophie and introduced her to the Elwyn world and was just a great person. And then when they started to get into love and there was all this anger and Alvar, kind of, you know, it added to the story, but I wouldn't say in a positive way. So I'm not going to say Fitz is meh, but I'm going to say he's decent just because of the start of the book. We kind of overlook that and we see all of his anger issues in the later books, but in the start of the books he was a really good character, so I'm going to say he's a decent character. Moving on to Lynn. Now Lynn is someone who I'm just going to put in meh, because Lynn like doesn't add too much to the story. Obviously she's a hydrokinetic, but like when do you really like, she's already just like hanging out with Wiley and like kind of treating him and all that, treating him and his family with Prentice. So like we never really get to see Lynn that much, and obviously I loved her short story, but I guess that probably adds on a lot of plot in the next book. But for right now, I'm just gonna put her as meh. Now Marella, I'm gonna say as well meh. She's not very prudent in the books. I really loved her in the first book, kind of her relationship with Sophie and Dex, just in Foxfire and everything. But right now, she's not really useful. Obviously, she's a pyrokinetic and she's getting trained, and that's really cool. But right now, just a meh. I hope that we can get to see her more in the future. Now Tam is another person I think I'm gonna put in decent, because Tam's, you know, shade powers and all the shadow flux, it's really added a lot to the story, and just his personality is great because he has a really like unique personality with all his dark thoughts and all that, and it's just fun to see how he interacts with like all these energetic people when he's like exactly the opposite. So I think it's a decent. Now Biana is one of my favorite characters, probably top 3 of my favorite characters in this book series. I'm gonna be putting Biana as a literal god. First, I love her ability, Vanisher. If I can choose one ability, I would be a Vanisher. Secondly, I mean, like Biana has such a good plot story, like it's just insane. Like she was just like, oh, I don't like Sophie. She got to know her, and then they became friends, and how we saw her become friends with Sophie, we began to see more of Biana, and especially because Sophie is the main character in this book, so we got to see Biana through Sophie's eyes, and Biana is just a great character. I loved how, you know, after she got brutally being down in that fight with Vespera, but she got up and she still continues to work with the Black Swan, and she's just more motivated to destroy than ever seen. So that's why I put Biana as a little god. And the same with Biana's mother. I would say she's a decent character because I just love that scene in Neverseen when they were all going to the Black Swan hideout. I just love that scene when Della just came in and she's kind of forced her way in to go with the kids to the Black Swan hideout, and like how she was just staying invisible the whole time. She was going to try and run away with them, so that was really cool of her, and I think she's just a really good, probably one of my favorite KotLC parents. Gency, I don't think he's helpful, honestly. I'm gonna have to put him right there because right now he's just not helpful. I mean, how is he really affecting the story? I don't even remember the last time that Sophie like met up with Gency. It was a funny little aspect, like the Julie boys in the first book, but it wasn't like helpful. It didn't advance the plot, so not helpful. Alvar, good betrayal, kind of just a weird plot around him. It's just kind of confusion, so I'm just gonna say meh. You know, it was really good betrayal, like when we all thought Alvar was good, and then boom, he switches up to Neverseen. but when he loses his memory and all that, it kind of confused me a little bit, so I'm just gonna put it as meh. Wiley, ooh, not really that helpful. Yeah, not that helpful. Honestly, I would love to put him higher, but Wiley just, it doesn't add that much to the plot. It's just like, he's there, but he's not really adding anything to the plot. Obviously, like, when Neverseen attacked him, it was a big story plot, and his relationship with Prentice and all that, he's kind of helpful with the plot, but he's just not, like, a really main character, so that's why I'm gonna have to put him as not helpful. Alden, I would say meh. I mean, he was a really big role in Sophie. He could adjust to the elven life, and always has been, like, a big storyline. And always been a big help to the Black Swan. That's so definitely a meh for me. Mr. Forkle, however, is my first beneficial, because the only thing I don't like about Mr. Forkle's plot is how when he died, I don't know if Shannon really wanted there to be two Mr. Forkles, but she knew that he was so beneficial to the series. That's why I can't put Mr. Forkle into Literal Gods, because I think that Shannon just made them twins just because she knew how beneficial that Mr. Forkle was. So that's why I think Mr. Forkle perfectly fits that. The ruler of Black Swan, you know, fighting off the evil, you know, creating the Moonlark, definitely just super beneficial to the story. Now we come up to one of our most important, Sophie. Now, I think a lot of people have problems with Sophie. They say she's like a Mary Sue or something like that. I think she's a decent character. I honestly, would I put her in beneficial or in decent? That's like kind of where I'm trying to look at here. You know what? I'll say she's beneficial. She's not like the best character in the world. She's not better than Mr. Forkle, but I think that a lot of people see her complaints is because she is at risk every single day for being the Moonlark. I mean, she has so many abilities. She has so many relationships with a lot of people. She has to really, she's under a lot, and I think it's reflected, and she has that kind of little bit of depression and mood, and like she can't sleep, and I think that it shows that, you know, sometimes that all that stress she's going to, it gets to her sometimes, and I think that's beneficial to the story. So next up, we're gonna go to one of our favorite characters up here. One of our favorite characters, Elwyn, definitely a literal god. I'm kind of hoping Sophie gets injured so that she can see Elwyn, because he's such a great character, so caring, and how he just let Keefe stay with him and develop kind of like a fatherly role for Keefe. And some people even think that Sophie's biological father might be Elwyn, so I think he is a literal god. I think he's one of the best characters in this book, so definitely gonna have him in this top spot. Lorelei, meh. Like, I don't really have an opinion on Lorelei. You know, obviously she's Sophie's biological mother, which is kind of important, but I don't really like how that whole relation with Sophie and Lorelei is. Like, why would Sophie be so mad at Lorelei is kind of what I'm thinking, but definitely helpful, but not really advancing the plot. It was like a fun plot twist, but not really anything. Ooh, Sandor. Sandor is not a literal god, so close to literal god. I would like put him before Sophie. Sandor is my favorite bodyguard, and obviously Rose is a great character too, which I'll put as decent, but I think Sandor is so beneficial because he was the one who put his life on the line for Sophie. He protects the main character. I think that Rose should be indecent just because, I mean, she protects Keefe. She's a really funny character, but she's not the biggest thing to the plot. I think Sandor is more important to the plot. That's why I'm going to go with that on there. Lady Gisela is, wow, one of the best villains I've ever seen. I have to put her as a literal god. Just how she betrayed Keefe, and she continues to betray Keefe, and somehow continues to manage to, you know, use threats to get her way, is why she's so dangerous, and that's why she's like the best KotLC villain in my opinion. Easily a literal god. And also, of course, Keefe. I mean, no one's disagreeing with me on this. He's the funniest guy in the series. He's a prankster. He has so much fun, and I think that he brings the comedy to the book, and that's why, like, he joins that like kind of elusive club of literal gods, because he is just the best character in the series by far. Now let's go on to Dex. I really like Dex's character, just how he interacts with everybody, and he had a really prominent role in the first couple of books. Is he that important? Like, he had a really good role in Unlock 2. I'm gonna say he's beneficial. I don't know if this is controversial, but Dex, like, he makes all the technology. He doesn't have much plot, but when he's in the plot, he uses it very well. You know, he's a really good ship, Dex and Biana, which might happen in the books. I think that Dex is the perfect person that was, like, you know, tried to be friends with Sophie, and, you know, the relationship got off to a little weird start on Dex, which kind of pushes him down a little bit. I think that they were really good relationship, Sophie and Dex. I just loved how, like, he has a really cool ability too, like being able to make gadgets and stuff, so I think he's beneficial to the story. Now we're on to Edeline. I would say Adeline's a meh. I don't view her as the best parent for Sophie. I think that Grady's the best parent. That's why I would put Grady at, I'll put Grady at decent. I think that Grady should be in decent. Adeline should be in meh. Honestly, in no particular reason. I just, for some reason, Grady's mesmer power is so cool. I love Adeline's power too, conjure. But I just think that Grady's fatherly role is just, I think that's what Sophie needed more. Kind of more of a protector, you know, that mesmer ability. And someone to kind of like, she also like, definitely needs Adeline as well, but I think that Grady is a little bit more important. Really, it's just his ability that puts him at top. Stina, wow, Stina is someone who I think is a very decent character. Her kind of like character development was kind of what brought me in to put her at decent, because she just has a really good character line. She was, you know, pranks and battles and with Dex and Sophie. But now she like became friends with both of them, and it's just really cool to see how she's going to be implemented into the next book, and maybe she can even like really join the Black Swan and become a real big member. And to be honest, Moroccan, our last character, I don't want to put her in a race, but like she's not even helpful. She has very little page time, and I feel like I have to put someone in a race, and I wouldn't put anyone else in a race. So I guess I'll put Moroccan. I mean, she's a cool character, she has the abilities, but she's just, I don't like, when I think about the series, Moroccan never pops into my mind, so the only character in this whole list I would erase would be Moroccan. But yeah, that is my KotLC character ranking. I will leave the link in the description so you guys can make a KotLC ranking too, or you can just comment it down below. Well, yeah, that's it for today's video. Drop a like down below if you guys like these rankings, because I know that Troy and Joey did one, so I definitely wanted to do one as well, so you guys can see my opinions as well. Also, if you guys could comment down below, who would you erase from a series out of this whole list? Because I actually really had a struggle picking that one person. Lastly, guys, make sure to subscribe. I know we just hit our goal of 10,000 subscribers, but now we are on the road to 20,000 subscribers. So definitely, if you guys could help us out in getting to our next goal, that would be amazing. And remember, we're going to be posting a GTA gaming video tomorrow, so if you guys like gaming videos, check that out tomorrow. And again, guys, thank you so much for 10,000 subscribers. We really are super thankful for all of you. But this was awesome from the KotLC Fanbase. I will see you guys next week. Have a great rest of your day, and peace.